September 20th, 2017. I want to show a few people what I've been working on. I have these giant binders here. Vixar papers 1 through 200 plus random notes. This is my random notes, printouts, and papers that I read and take notes of to look for ideas. I'm trying to keep this organized, but as you can see, it's a shitload of stuff. Here's Vixar papers 201 to 400. Obviously, I don't have 400 Vixar papers. I only have, I think, it's what, like 318. And I've been honing them and trying to make them all make sense, put them all together and stuff, and branch them out, organize, edit, organize, edit, organize, edit. It takes a hell of a lot of time. And here's another, these are more printouts and papers that I go over too. That's another giant binder of them. And when I'm at work, a lot of people don't know this, I have post-it notes at work. And every time I have an idea and I'm at work and I don't want to forget it, I write it down on a post-it note and I stick it in my pocket. And I put this, oh, this is all the post-it notes. I guess this is around maybe like a year's worth. I really have probably around this times 4 or 5 of post-it notes. I've lost them over the years. But I just thought I'd organize them and put them all in one place so they're not scattered all over my room and my workspace. But anyways, for the talk today, I was thinking about how ideas become dogma. And I remember I printed this out July 3rd, 2014. I put the date up here. If you can see that on the propagation of ideas. Dates right there. Only the better, I scratched out better but popular. Only the popular ideas turn into dogma. And it is this process where a fresh, stimulating, humanly helpful idea is changed into robot dogma that is deadly. In terms of hazardous vectors released, the transformation of ideas into dogma rivals the transformation of hydrogen into helium, uranium into lead, or innocence into corruption. And it is nearly as relentless. So essentially, an imaginative, helpful idea becomes dogma rather easily. And in the second half of this, it explains why. The problem starts at the secondary level. Not with the originator or developer of the idea, but with the people who are attracted by it, who adopt it, who cling to it until their last nail breaks, and who invariably lack the overview, flexibility, imagination, and most importantly, sense of humor to maintain it in the spirit in which it was hatched. Ideas are made by masters, dogma by disciples. It's from Still Life with Woodpecker by Tom Robbins. And I wanted to read that to my listeners, is that I don't look at my listeners as secondary level, but easily, because I want them to be, to be an originator of the ideas, essentially with their own ideas that branch off as well. It's a very creative process here, right? I can't think up all the ideas to make the theory the best it can be. I need help from others. But I think the problem is that sometimes it's very easy just to take what you learn or what you see and adopt it and not really be more creative with it. And I think that's a big problem with academics these days with their Big Bang and their black hole stuff. I seriously consider that a lot of the stuff that was, invented back in the 1920s through the 1970s was made out of a spirit of imagination, of wonderment, what could be out there, And the secondary academics, the people who wanted to make careers for themselves, they took advantage of those ideas, and they became dogma because they were attracted by it, because they were mysterious, and because they were invented by their professors or people that came before them. Chances are, we had to take them seriously, they took themselves seriously. But the truth is that I don't believe that a lot of the ideas that are dogma these days were essentially serious in the beginning. I think people were just trying to stretch their mind out to find out what could be possible. I don't think as they really said, well, this is real, this is actually happening, this is a real object, or this is the reality, the truth of the matter, and these are facts. I don't think they approached it like that. The originators of those ideas, the really big ones, they just threw an idea out there, and then now it's dogma. Now everybody believes it to be there, like dark matter. There's no dark matter. But what happened was they were finding the rotation rates of galaxies was not the same as the solar system. The outer arms of the galaxies were spinning at near the same velocity as the inner regions, and that just doesn't happen. When you go out, it's supposed to get slower and slower, but they weren't seeing that. So to make up for the difference, they said, well, it had to be this mysterious matter. And naturally, astronomy being a mysterious type endeavor, they say, well, let's just go over the mysterious thing. That way we can, keep it up in the air, and people can, throw money at it in large amounts, and we can keep people studying these mysterious things. And you can build a career on mystery. I've learned, and that's the truth of a lot of these dogma type organizations, is that it's not that they want the truth, they want a perpetual mystery to be there, because it sort of feeds into the idea that somehow that they're the top people in the sciences. So they throw this major mystery. Oh, you can't figure this out. You're not smart enough to do this. You have to accept first what everything we've been told, and then you can accept the same mysteries that we have. So the whole approach to solving astronomy-related matters is kind of off kilter, if you will. They're not looking for answers. They're looking for the next mystery, so they can keep the charades up, and keep on cutting people out of their group who disagree with them, or who can't hack it, or who can't play along with these ego games, I guess you could say. But anyways, I think I'm rambling. I just wanted to show you how many printouts I'm working with here, and the fact that it takes it takes an incredible amount of time to write something out in a complete thought. It's much more than just a 500-word essay. In other words, I think I took a quick estimate of how many papers I have, or original thoughts that I have. It's around about 350 individual papers, as if you were to put them in a big line. So I think my goal over the next year or two will be to take these ideas and edit them, make sure they're clear, make sure they're concise, make sure that they're not, confusing, and make a book out of it. And that's going to be a very, very difficult path, but I think it's possible. I think I can do it. It's just going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, and the fact that I have a full-time job, which takes actually more than full-time work to do, and then I'm doing this on the side, it's just that much harder. If I did this for a living, I'm pretty sure I could get it knocked out within about 3 or 4 months. But anyways, all right, y'all, take it easy.